Lightroom just solved a problem photographers have struggled with for years, and it's one that'll make editing feel so much easier. The new Lightroom 15 update brings a few useful changes, but one in particular fixes something that's always slowed me down when editing wildlife images. It's simple, fast, and genuinely saves time. There is also a great improvement on how we work with color and cropping. Let's take a look at what's new. Let's have a look at this image. You can see there is one big problem. These dust spots are everywhere, and it caused a lot of headaches when I edited this photograph in the past. But now, Lightroom has given us something extremely easy to use to get rid of all of those dust spots. If you go to the Remove tool here, go down to Distraction Removal, you'll see there's a new dust removal tool here. So simply just click Apply, and Lightroom will inspect the image and clean up all of the dust spots. So if I hover the mouse over the image, you can actually see just how many dust spots Lightroom has cleaned up. There must be a couple of hundred. So you can imagine to actually clean that up manually will take an extremely long time. And when I worked on this series of images, I probably spent 20 or 30% of the editing time just cleaning up dust spots. So if I had this tool back then, it would have saved me a lot of time. Now you can obviously remove dust spots manually with this as well. If you click Visualize Spots here, you can actually see in this photograph there are many more dust spots, but they are quite faint. So Lightroom has not selected those for cleanup. So you can go in and just manually remove dust spots like you could in the past, just by simply clicking on the image and removing them. You can change the size of the dust spot removal tool here and simply just click on the image. But in this example, I'm pretty happy with the outcome from what the automatic dust removal has given me. And now that's allowed me to clean up this image in literally about a minute. It's incredible how easy it is to remove dust spots now. That used to be one of the things I struggled with most. When I first started editing, I also had no idea what to do to my images or in what order. To help with that, I've created a free 7-day Lightroom photo editing guide that walks you through the exact system I use to edit every wildlife photograph, step by step, from start to finish. You can sign up using the link below. The next tool, it has to do with color. Now in the color mixer panel, if you go down to point color, we have got a new slider here, and that is called the variance slider. So if I choose a color here, let's click that color picker tool there and let me choose a green. Now what the variance slider is going to do is it's going to vary the colors that are very close to that green. So if you can imagine a green color here, there's different greens this side and different greens that side of the exact color we've chosen. And the variance slider allows you to push those colors further away from that color that we've chosen or bring them closer together. So let me show you how that works and just demonstrate that a little bit more clearly here. So I've selected that green color. If we just now click to visualize range, that is the color we have selected. Now in the past, we can choose to change the hue, change the saturation, change the luminance, but now we can change the variance. So if I decrease the variance, all of those different greens in the image will become almost one green color. So you can see there, all of the different greens in the image are now almost identical. But if I shift that variance to +100, you can see there's a lot of variance in the different kind of green colors we have there. So just varying that variance slider there just allows you to fine tune the colors, bring all the greens closer to each other, or drift those greens further apart. Let's just reset there. Let's have a look and see what it does with the yellows. Let's click the yellow there on the lion, visualize range. You can see it's chosen, I should say, more oranges than yellows, but it's selected some of those oranges or yellows in the background. Let's play around with the variance. It's now going to bring all of those colors in line with each other. But if we increase the variance, you'll see it separates those colors a lot more. So what was very similar in the background has now become very different in the background. So that is a nice way to separate colors, especially when you've got a subject like a lion, for example, with similar surrounding colors there. So in this example, I would increase the variance on those yellows. And then what I would do is on the greens, I would maybe decrease that variance to get all the greens aligned a little bit more closely to each other, and then simply drop that saturation and maybe just tweak that luminance a little bit there. Just allowing you to simplify the color palette, just to make the colors a little bit more separated between the subject and the background. Now, the next update Lightroom has given us is the ability to zoom in while we crop If we click this crop tool here, we can obviously just change the format of the image, crop away certain amounts of the image. But if we actually zoom in while we crop, we couldn't do that in the past. So now you can actually zoom in and really fine tune the crop to where you want it to be. If there was a small detail here and you really just wanted to hide the detail, like let's just say that little blob on the floor, for example, you can zoom in and really just fine tune that crop to exactly where you want it to go. The real trick to editing isn't just knowing how each Lightroom tool works, it's understanding how they all work together to create a powerful image. In this next video, I'll show you exactly how on a full wildlife photo edit.